Shrek Forever After. Once upon a time, there was a big green ogre named Shrek. He had bad breath and he lived alone in a swamp. Everyone was scared of him. But then, Shrek met a princess. Her name was Fiona. They fell in love and got married. It turned out that once you got to know Shrek, he wasn't so bad after all, but he still had bad breath. Shrek and Fiona had 3 ogre babies, Farkle, Fergus, and Felicia, and they lived happily ever after. Well, sort of. Sometimes, Shrek imagined being a scary ogre again. Soon it was time to celebrate the ogre triplets' first birthday. They had a birthday party at the Candy Apple with all of their friends. Outside the party, Rumpelstiltskin overheard Shrek's wish to be a terrifying ogre. Rumple was a smooth-talking deal-maker. He and his goose Fifi came up with a plan. Rumple offered Shrek a deal to be a real ogre again for 1 day. In exchange, Shrek had to give Rumple 1 day from his past. Shrek thought about it.
Well, I guess there's nothing wrong with wanting a little time for myself. I'm still my own ogre,
he said, and signed the contract. It worked! At first, Shrek enjoyed himself. He chased away the villagers. He took a mud bath all by himself. Being an ogre was great. But when Shrek went home, his swamp house was gone. All he found was an empty tree stump. Where was Fiona? Where were the babies? Shrek was very upset.
All right, Rumple, what's going on? What have you done?
He called out. Suddenly, some witches flew by. In a flash, the witches captured Shrek. Then they locked him in a carriage to take him to the new king of Far, Far Away. Shrek looked out of his cage. He couldn't believe his eyes. Donkey was pulling the carriage. Shrek tried talking to Donkey, but Donkey acted like he didn't know Shrek.
Look, ogre, I think you must have me confused with some other talking donkey. I've never seen you before in my life,
said Donkey. Shrek was sad and confused.
It's me, Shrek. Your best friend?
Shrek explained, but it was no use. In Far, Far Away, Shrek saw his friend Gingy, but Gingy didn't know Shrek either. Gingy was fighting animal crackers while the villagers watched. Shrek's friend had become a fierce warrior. Then Shrek met the king. It was Rumple. Rumple told Shrek he had taken away the day that Shrek was born when Shrek signed the deal. Shrek had never existed. That was why Donkey and Gingy didn't know him. Rumple explained that without Shrek, the king and queen made a deal with him. Desperate to save Princess Fiona from the Dragon's Keep, they signed away their kingdom to make all of their problems disappear. And disappear they did. The king and queen, that is. Shrek was angry. He wanted his old life back. He broke free from his chains and stole one of the witch's brooms. He scooped up Donkey and flew out of the castle.
Ah! Help me!
Donkey shouted as they soared away. When they landed in the woods, Donkey told Shrek not to worry.
You should never sign a contract with Rumpelstiltskin. His fine print is crafty,
he told Shrek. Donkey folded the paper to reveal Rumple's fine print. Shrek grabbed the contract.
If Fiona and I share true love's kiss, I will get my life back,
Shrek exclaimed, but he only had 24 hours. Otherwise, his day and his life would be over. While looking for Fiona, Donkey saw a stack of yummy waffles in the forest.
Yeah! Waffles!
He shouted. He couldn't resist. But it was a trap. Donkey fell into a deep hole. Shrek quickly went after his friend. Shrek and Donkey discovered a camp filled with ogres. The ogres were planning to fight Rumple. Fiona was their leader, but she didn't know Shrek either. Later, Shrek went to find Fiona in her tent. Instead, he found Puss in Boots. Shrek couldn't believe his eyes. Puss used to wear tall boots. Now he wore pink bows. Puss used to be lean and mean. Now he was fat and fancy.
Puss? You've got to be kidding me.
Shrek cried. Shrek needed Fiona to kiss him to get his old life back. But Fiona did not love Shrek. After all, she thought they had just met. Luckily, Shrek had a plan. Shrek gave Fiona a gift basket. Inside was a heart-shaped box of slugs and a skunk-scented candle. The gift basket even had a coupon, good for 1 free kiss. Fiona was not impressed. She threw Shrek out of her tent. Rumple had a plan to capture the ogres. He hired the Pied Piper, a mysterious figure who used his flute, to get the ogres under his control. That night, the Pied Piper captured the ogre army with his music. Luckily, Fiona and Shrek got away. Later, Fiona went back to save her ogre friends, but she failed. Rumple caught her and put her in his dungeon. Still, Rumple wasn't happy. He offered a deal to anyone who could catch Shrek. So, Shrek turned himself in. In exchange, Rumple freed the ogre army. But since Fiona wasn't all ogre, Rumple wouldn't release her. Now Shrek and Fiona were both trapped in Rumple's dungeon. Shrek screamed at Rumple.
We had a deal. You agreed to free all ogres.
It was up to Donkey and Puss to save the day. Puss put on his old boots. Then he, Donkey, and the ogre army snuck inside the castle and attacked. The ogre army sounded their battle horns and began fighting. The witches threw pumpkin bombs from the balcony onto the ogres below. Rumple and his witch army didn't stand a chance. Working together, Shrek and Fiona captured Rumple. Victory at last! Shrek's day was almost over. He fell towards the ground and into Fiona's arms.
You know what the best part of today was?
Said Shrek.
I got the chance to fall in love with you all over again.
Fiona realized she loved Shrek too, and kissed him. True love saved Shrek. Rumple's deal was off. Fiona and Shrek had their old life back, and this time they lived happily ever after. The end.